Hi, welcome to my video. Myself Satyashree, Associate Professor. In this video, I would like to discuss about hypnotics and sedatives, which is a very important topic under CNS drugs. It is useful for second B from second semester students under PCI regulation. Next, coming to the contents, I would like to cover the various contents in my presentation are introduction, ideal characteristics, classification, mechanism of action, and synthesis of some of the important drugs. Coming to the introduction, sedatives and hypnotics are the class of drugs that causes a dose-dependent depression of central nervous system function. They can induce a sedation, sleep, and unconsciousness with increase in the dose. Generally, first coming to the definition of hypnotics, which is generally obtained from a Greek word nothing but hypnos, means sleep. So these hypnotic drugs, also known as soporific drugs, commonly known as sleeping pills. This is the common name, are a class of psychoactive drugs whose primary function is to induce and sleep and to be used in the treatment of insomnia. Because the hypnotics are able to induce us and sleep, that's why used in the treatment of insomnia, nothing but sleeplessness, or also used for surgical anesthesia. That is about an hypnotics. And coming to the sedatives, these are the drugs that decreases the activity and have a calming and relaxation effect. People generally use these sedatives to reduce an anxiety. At higher doses, the sedatives usually causes an sleep. Nothing but in case of hypnotics and sedatives and general anesthetics, these three compounds produces an dose-dependent action. At lower doses, they act as sedatives, just used as anti-anxiety agent. In somewhat higher doses, used as hypnotics to induce and sleep, used in the treatment of insomnia. Somewhat at still higher doses, used as surgical anesthetic agents. That is the simple introduction about hypnotics and sedatives. And coming to the ideal characteristics of hypnotics and sedatives, so these are the agents which promotes the sleep state identical to natural sleep, the sleep whatever produced by the sedatives and hypnotics, which is identical to a natural sleep. And it does not causes undesirable daytime sedation, and it does not produce any abuse, addiction, and dependence, and no potential for decreasing or arresting the respiration even at relatively higher doses. These are the some of the ideal characteristics of hypnotics and sedatives. Next, coming to the very important part under hypnotics and sedatives is classification. How we can classify the hypnotics and sedatives. So, generally in medicinal chemistry, we can go for the classification based on chemical structure, right? So, based on the chemical structure, sedatives and hypnotics are majorly classified into five important types. And the first and very important part is barbiturates, and the second important part is benzodiazepines and non-benzodiazepines, and third one is amides and imides, and fourth one is alcohols and their carbamide derivatives, and last one is aldehyde and their derivatives. These are the five important classes of hypnotics and sedatives. And coming to the first one, barbiturates. So, barbiturates, based on the duration of action, these are again further classified into four classes. First one is long acting barbiturates, intermediate acting, short acting, ultra short acting. So here I am giving the how much time it shows its duration of action. For long acting, the duration of action is more than 6 hours. For intermediate acting, it is between 3 to 6 hours. For short acting, it is less than 3 hours. For ultra short acting, it is less than 1 hour. Based on the duration of action, these are classified into long acting, intermediate acting, short acting, and ultra short acting. And coming to the classification or example of each and every class, for long acting, three examples are there: barbitol, phenobarbital, methylbarbital are comes in the category of long acting. Whereas intermediate acting are emobarbital, also known as amylobarbital, and the one is butabarbital. Both are the examples of intermediate acting. And third one is short acting. Two examples: pentobarbital and secobarbital. And last and final class is ultra short acting, Why they can name it as ultra short acting is so because it produces an action within 1 hour, and these drugs able to crosses an blood brain barrier because of highly lipophilic in nature. Because of lipophilic character only, there comes under the category of ultra short acting barbiturates. The two examples are thiopental and thymila. The name itself indicates they possess an sulfur. Because of the sulfur, they are highly lipophilic in character. That's why it shows an ultra short acting barbiturates. This is the classification of barbiturates: long acting, intermediate acting, short acting, and ultra short acting, along with examples. And next one is how we are getting an barbiturates word is in 1903 Fisher and von Merging discovered the hypnotic activity of first barbituric acid, that is 5,5-diethyl barbituric acid. Simply we can name it as barbiturate. These are also known as cyclic urites. How we can synthesize the barbituric acid is take the starting material as urea. We are already know the structure of urea. Reacts with diethyl malanoate in presence of base like sodium ethoxide, and it undergoes cyclization. Both the urea and diethyl malanoate undergo cyclization in the presence of an sodium ethoxide and gives an barbituric acid. So this is the numbering of barbituric acid. It consisting of an pyrimidine ring with 3 ketones. So this is the structure of barbituric acid. We are start give the numbering from an first nitrogen atom, second ketone, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. At second, fourth, and sixth position we are having an ketones. So what is the name of this molecule is 2,4,6 triglycohexahydropyrimidine. This is the chemical name of a barbituric acid. Just observe the structure. At the fifth position, it generally possesses 2 hydrogen atoms in case of a barbituric acid. That is important to study about the classes of drugs. And coming to the general structure of barbituric acid, this is the general structure of barbituric acid. At the fifth position, we have to replace with an R and R1. Nothing but both the hydrogen atoms is replaced with an alkyl groups, and we are getting different types of an barbiturates. Just remember this structure to understand the classes of compounds of long, intermediate, short, and ultra short acting barbiturates. At the fifth position, one is an R and the one is an R1. Both the hydrogens are replaced by an alkyl groups. Based on that one, we have to classify it into different types. One is a long acting barbiturates. We are already studied the barbitol, phenobarbital, methylbarbital. Coming to the functional groups, generally in all the cases it may be long, intermediate acting, or short acting. The R group must be always ethyl, except two conditions, secobarbital as well as thiopental, and remaining all the structures it must be an ethyl is common. Nothing but R is always ethyl. And next one is R1 may be varies from each and every compound, and we can easily remember what is the R1 based on the name of the compound. Suppose first example is an barbiturate, barbital. In that barbital, both the R must be ethyls. In case of phenobarbital, in the name itself indicates it possesses an phenyl. One must be ethyl and the one is an phenyl. And next one is methylbarbital. Methylbarbital, phenyl is common. Along with the phenyl, Me indicates a methyl group. So R group is an ethyl, another one is an phenyl, same as like that of phenobarbital, but the difference is at the first nitrogen atom of pyrimidine ring is substituted with an methyl group and gives an methylbarbital. These three are comes in the category of long acting barbiturates. And second one is intermediate acting barbiturates. First one is amylobarbital or emobarbital. The R group is ethyl and R1 is an amyl. And next one is butabarbital. One is an ethyl and the one is an butyl, right? Butabarbital, it consisting of butyl. It is not an N-butyl, it consisting of isobutyl group. And next one is short acting pentobarbital. Nothing but it consisting of pentyl, same as like that of butabarbital, but instead of an N-pentyl, it consisting of an isopentyl group. And next one is secobarbital, also known as quinobarbital. It consisting of an vinyl group along with an isopentyl. The pentobarbital, the R1 is same, but R may be varies. One is an ethyl, here is an it consisting of an vinyl. And next one is an ultra short acting barbiturates. The only one example is there in your syllabus, that is thiopental. Thiopental is different from barbituric acid. So barbituric acid at the 3 position it possesses an ketones, but here at the second position consisting of C double bond O is replaced with C double bond S, it gives an thiopental. It also possesses R1 is an allyl and the one is an pentyl. Thiopental. This is the classification along with the structures or functional groups which are located at R and R1 in case of barbituric acid. And coming to the another important part under barbituric acids is SAR of barbiturates. So before going in detail about SAR, so first you must write down the general structure of barbiturates. This is the general structure. We have to write the pyrimidine. At the second, fourth and sixth position we have to write the ketones, and at which we have to go for modifications. At fifth position generally we have to go for modification with R and R1. So what are the different modifications we have to go for here? Generally with your alkyl groups. So the SAR we are studied in the 3 subheadings. First one is modifications on these 2 nitrogen atoms, and second one is modifications on this second carbonyl carbon, and next one is modifications on this 5th carbon atoms. So this is the 3 parts of SAR. Coming to the first one, in only one condition only we have to modification of this NH hydrogen atom with a methyl. So compounds with alkyl group in first and third position maybe have a shorter onset and duration of action. So whenever it possesses methyl group at first and third position, it produces short onset and duration of action. And next one is at the second position always the carbonyl group is necessary. So if it is replaced with an sulfur, the oxygen is replaced with sulfur in second position, it produces shortest onset and duration of action. Nothing but we can generate an ultra short acting barbiturates simply by replacing this oxygen with a sulfur. The best example for this one is thiopental. These are the modifications on nitrogens and modification of only a carbonyl carbonate second position. And next coming to the very important part about a fifth position. So in the fifth position, generally in case of barbituric acid, both the R and R1 must be hydrogens. So both the hydrogens must be replaced with alkyl groups for maximum activity. So next point is, if the length of the alkyl chain is increases in the fifth position, enhances the potency. Up to 5 to 6 carbon atoms we have to increase. Like thiopental, pentobarbital, butabarbital, just we have to study it up to 5 carbon atoms or 6 carbon atoms. Beyond that, if the number of carbon atoms increases, it produces anticonvulsant action. And next one is, if the alkyl chain must be an cyclic or it may be unsaturated chain, in fifth position produces short duration of action than normal saturated chain containing same number of carbon atoms. Suppose let us consider the example as an pentobarbital. It generally possesses 5 carbon atoms of straight chain. So if it is saturated or it may be cyclic pentone, so it produces short duration of action when compared with a saturated chain containing same number of carbon atoms. So that is the SAR of barbiturates. I repeat the SAR. So both the nitrogens must be, if it is alkyl substituted, it produces short duration of action. If the carbonyl carbon is replaced with sulfur, it produces ultra short acting barbiturates. Always the hydrogens at fifth position replaced with an alkyl groups which is necessary for maximum activity. If the length of the alkyl chain in the fifth position enhances the potency up to 5 to 6 carbon atoms. Beyond that 6 carbon atoms, it produces anticonvulsant action. It produces convulsant action. Next, the branching of the branching or cyclic or unsaturated chain in the fifth position may produces short duration of action than normal saturated chain containing same number of carbon atoms. That is the SAR of barbiturates. And coming to the mechanism of action, So, what is the mechanism of action we are required in case of barbiturates is we require a depression of central nervous system. So, generally we have to observe that the depression of central nervous system is majorly occurred due to the increase in inhibitory neurotransmitters. So, what is the neurotransmitter which is involved in GABA is the neurotransmitter. It can enhance the actions of GABA A receptors by binding with the pyrotoxin site. Just observe the picture. This is the GABA A receptor structure. It is a type of ligand-gated ion channel. It consisting of penta subunits, nothing but 2 alpha subunits, 2 beta and 1 gamma subunit. So whenever the barbiturates we are injected into the physiological system, it able to bind with the barbiturates receptors which are located in the beta subunit, and finally it can activate the GABA A receptor and increase the influx of chloride ions. If there is influx of chloride ions into the from outside the cell into the cell, and finally due to the influx of negative ions into the cell, it causes an hyperpolarization. So if the hyperpolarization is occurred, it can decrease the excitability of excited cells and causes an hypnosis. Very simple mechanism. Just the barbiturates bind with barbiturate receptors which is located in GABA A receptors of beta subunit and increase the influx of chloride ions and causes an hyperpolarization and decrease the excitability of excited cells and causes an hypnosis. That is the mechanism of action of barbiturates. And coming to the uses, they are used. We are already discussed that they are used as an sedatives and hypnotics, and in the emergency treatment of convulsions, majorly in status epilepsy, in large doses used as anesthetic agent. And what are the adverse effects are hangover, drowsiness, amnesia, and impaired judgment and dependence are commonly observed adverse effects, somewhat in higher doses of barbiturates, which ultimately leads to a coma, hypotension, decreases the reflexes and respiratory paralysis. So the treatment of barbiturates poisoning includes we have to first support the respiration and you can alkalize the urine. Finally, we can eliminate the excess barbituric acid from the physiological system. These are the uses and adverse effects. And coming to the second important class of compounds are benzodiazepines. The benzodiazepines, based on the structure, they are again classified into three classes: benzodiazepines, non-benzodiazepines, and trizolobenzodiazepines. In case of benzodiazepines, they are further classified into three types depending upon the duration of action. One is long acting, intermediate acting, and short acting. In long acting, the duration of action is more than 40 minutes. In intermediate acting, the duration of action is only 40 minutes. In short acting, the duration of action is 15 to 30 minutes. These are the examples. Diazepam and clorazepam are long acting benzodiazepines, and nitrazepam is an intermediate acting, and oxazepam and lorazepam are short acting. These are about the benzodiazepines, long acting, intermediate acting, and short acting. And coming to the second one is non-benzodiazepines. They're similar to the structure, but they differ in the somewhat. There is a small difference we are observed in the structure with benzodiazepines. To give you a non-benzodiazepines, the example is zolpidem. And last and third class is trizolobenzodiazepines. So similar in the structure with benzodiazepines. Along with the benzodiazepine structure, it consisting of three-membered ring. It gives an trizolobenzodiazepines. The example is alprazolam. This is the classification of benzodiazepine. And next one is benzodiazepine. How we are getting the name is, the name itself indicates benzodiazepines. It consisting of benzene ring along with a diazepine, nothing but 7-membered ring with 2 nitrogen. Diaza is nothing but 2 nitrogens are attached to the 7-membered ring with the benzene. It gives an benzodiazepine. The benzodiazepine is the fusion of benzene ring and diazepine ring. This is the benzene ring and this is the diazepine ring. 7-membered ring with 2 nitrogens. It gives an diazepine. The first synthesized benzodiazepine is chlordiazepoxide, which is synthesized accidentally in the year of 1961. About 20 derivatives of benzodiazepines are synthesized, which are clinically useful for the treatment of various disorders. This is the structure of chlordiazepoxide. These are the example of drugs of benzodiazepines. Diazepam. This is very important structure. So in the diazepam structure, generally we have to observe that at the first position we are observing an methyl, and the seventh position we are observing an chlorine. So these modifications we have to remember for an SAR part. At the seventh position we have to go for electronegative atom. Nothing but chlorine is substituted. At the first position methyl group is substituted. What is the name of this molecule? Is 7-chloro 1, 3 at the first and third position, consisting of dihydro and 1 methyl and 5 phenyl 2H. Both the hydrogens of the second position is replaced with an ketone. We can name it as 2H, and 1, 4 benzodiazepine. Here 1, 4 indicates the presence of an nitrogen atoms. 1, 4 benzodiazepine 2-1. This is the chemical name of a diazepam. And next, coming to the chlorazepate. Chlorazepate is similar like that of an benzodiazepine, but modifications you must remember. So in case of diazepam, it consisting of methyl. It does not possess an methyl here. Along with the third position, we have to substitute with an carboxylic group, giving an chlorazepate. What is the chemical name? 7-chloro. This is the 7-chloro 2, 3 dihydro 2-oxo. This is an 2-oxo 5-phenyl 1H 1, 4 benzodiazepine 3-carboxylic acid. This is the structure of chlorazepate. Diazepam and chlorazepate are comes under the category of long-acting benzodiazepines. And next one is an oxazepam. The example, the coming to the structure of oxazepam, at the seventh position chlorine, oxazepam. Simply we have to introduce an, instead of carboxylic group for chlorazepate, just we have to replace with an OH, which gives an oxazepam. Right? So 7-chloro. Here the 7-chloro 1, 3 dihydro. At the third position we have to replace with OH, right? 3 hydroxy and 5 phenyl 2H 1, 4 benzodiazepine 2-1. So here just we are representing an 3 bonds, but already also possess an one more hydrogen here. So that is the structure of oxazepam. Next one is an lorazepam. Everything is same like oxazepam, but only the simple difference is this phenyl ring is substituted. At the second position, 2' position, it is substituted with a chlorine. That is nothing but lorazepam. Just observe the structures. Diazepam, parent structure you must remember. It all those must possess 7th position. Chlorine is same for all the structures, but only diazepam at the first position is methyl. In all the remaining structure, the first position is hydrogen atom. At the third position, diazepam is unsubstituted, but chlorazepate, it is substituted with carboxylic group, oxazepam with hydroxy group, lorazepam with hydroxy group. Along with this one, phenyl ring is also substituted at 2' position with an chlorine. So these are the examples of a diazepam benzodiazepines. Next one is an alprazolam. Alprazolam, coming to the structure of alprazolam, this is the structure. It is comes into the category of triazolobenzodiazepines. So I already said that for the benzodiazepine structure, we are attaching trizolo ring. This is the structure of an alprazolam. At this one, it consisting of 8th position chlorine, and the first position is nothing but an methyl 6-phenyl. And while giving the numbering, it undergoes several changes, and it gives an 6-phenyl 4H S trizolo 4,3A14 benzodiazepine. This is the structure of alprazolam. And next one is an zolpidem. It comes under the category of non-benzodiazepines. It does not possess an benzodiazepine structure, but it acts as an benzodiazepine, same mechanism with an benzodiazepines. So what is the structure? This is an imidazopyridine nucleus. Imidazole. This is an imidazole ring. And then this is only we can name it as pyrimidine. Both are combined, it gives an imidazopyridine ring. So for this imidazopyridine ring, it consisting of methyl as well as toluene, and substituted amide derivative we are having. This is the structure of zolpidem. It is an imidazopyridine ring containing molecule that is important for bit paper. this imidazopyridine ring, this zolpidem is comes under the category of non-benzodiazepine. These are the classification of a benzodiazepine. Coming to the SAR, just observe the first we have to write the general structure of benzodiazepine. This is the general structure. So before say how we can discuss the SAR is, the SAR is divided as three parts. One is ring A, ring B, and ring C. So what are the modifications we are made in ring A is nothing but at seventh position we have to go for modification. So at the seventh position, what type of substitutions we are made with various electronegative atoms. So electronegative modification we are made here itself indicates that it is more active in nature. Coming to the first point, substitution of electron withdrawing groups like chlorine, bromine, nitrocyano at 7th position enhances the activity. As the electronegativity increases, the activity is also increases. So nothing but is the electronegative atom increases, automatically it increases an activity. If there is any substitution of electron withdrawing groups at 8th and ninth positions, always there is a decrease in the activity. I repeat, just substitute with electronegative atoms, it enhances the activity. If it is more electronegative, it is more active in nature. If this X group is replaced at 8th and ninth position, obviously there is a decrease in activity. That is about ring A. And coming to the ring B, what are the modifications we are made in ring B is modification at first nitrogen atom. That is methyl group at first position is optimal for activity. And next one is carbonyl group is important for activity. We no need to go for any modifications of carbonyl group in whatever structures we are discussed in the previous slide. So we didn't observe any modifications on carbonyl group. So it itself indicates the carbonyl group at second position is important for activity. If it is replaced with hydrogen atoms, nothing but C double bond O is replaced with CH2, always it gives a less potent compounds. And next one is replacement of hydrogens here. So here it possesses two hydrogen atoms. If the replacement of hydrogens in the third position with OH, always it produces and lowers the activity. Or introduction of an carboxyl group or in third position, nothing but COOH group, increases the duration of action. The example is chlorazepate. And next one is we no need to go for modifications at fourth position. And next one is the double bond between fourth and fifth position is always necessary for activity. And last and final one is the phenyl ring at fifth position is also necessary for activity. 5 modifications, 5 positions are there, 5 modifications we are made. One is methyl group is necessary for activity, carbonyl group is necessary for activity, and next one is if they replace with OH, it produces lower potent compounds. If replaced with carboxylic group, it increases and duration of action. The double bond is necessary for activity. The phenyl ring is also essential for activity. This is about a ring B. And next one is a ring C. So in ring C, only one modification made, that is at the 2' position with electronegative atom. So ring C is substitution of phenyl ring at 5th position with pyridinyl. Instead of phenyl ring, just replace with an pyridinyl or cycloalkyl groups gives an potent compounds. Next one is substitution of electronegative atoms like chlorine, fluorine at 2' or 6' position enhances the activity. At 4' position, it is decreases the activity. Always it require at an ortho position. So if it is at para, obviously there is a decrease in the activity. If there is a replacement of benzene ring by heteroaromatic rings, results in the compounds with good anxiolytic properties. So if you want an anti-anxiolytics, always we have to replace the phenyl ring with an heteroaromatic rings. It produces a good anxiolytic properties. This is the SAR of an benzodiazepines of ring A, B as well as C. Next one is mechanism of action. The mechanism of action is same as like that of barbiturates. The only difference is, so in the benzodiazepines, instead of binding with barbiturate sites, so they are binds with an benzodiazepine site. They will bind with an benzodiazepine site. So which is located in GABA A receptors. Both the barbiturates and benzodiazepines, they will act on GABA A receptors only. So it is a type of ligand gated ion channel. In this one, it consisting of benzodiazepine receptor site. The benzodiazepine will bind with this site and increase the influx of chloride ions and causes an hyperpolarization and decrease the excitability of excited cells and causes an hypnosis. The mechanism is same, but only the difference is the barbiturates will bind with picrotoxin and barbiturate site, whereas benzodiazepines will bind with a benzodiazepine site. Both serves the same function, just increase the influx of chloride ions and causes hyperpolarization and decrease the excitability of excited cells and causes a hypnosis. That is the mechanism of action of benzodiazepines. Next, coming to the uses, they are used to reduce the anxiety and used as sedative and hypnotic and as anti-convulsant, in larger doses used as anesthetic agent. These are the uses. And coming to the adverse effect, it produces prolonged sleep, confusion, amnesia, hangover when taken with an alcohol, and also produces a dependence. These are some of the adverse effects of a benzodiazepine. And next one is third class of compounds. So till now we completed the barbiturates and benzodiazepines, and third class is amides and amides. The example is an glutathione. Amides and imides, the example is glutathione. This is the structure of a glutathione. Next one is aldehyde and their derivatives. The simple example is an peraldehyde, trioxy derivative along with 3-methyl substituted, nothing but a peraldehyde. Next one is chloral hydrate. So this is the structure of an chloral hydrate. So trichloro 1-hydroxy trichloroethanol is nothing but an chloraldehyde. Chloral hydrate, also known as an trichlorphos, which is simply named as an chloral hydrate. Peraldehyde and chloral hydrate are comes in the category of aldehydes and their derivatives. And last and final class is alcohols and their carbamate derivatives. The two examples are meprobamate and ethchlorvinol. These two are the nothing but alcohol and their carbamate derivatives. And coming to the last and final topic is synthesis of very important compound, nothing but a diazepam. So before going for the synthesis, just observe the structure and follow the retrosynthetic analysis. So how do we have to divide the structures and divide up to this nitrogen atom as well as this double bond. Just remove these two nitrogens, you have to break here. So and keep a double bond NH2 here and keep a double bond here, and to get a 2 amino, this is the starting material, 2 amino 5 chloro benzophenone. So start giving the numbering from here: 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we have to write 2 amino 5 chloro benzophenone, benzene with phenone. This is the benzophenone structure. So 2 amino 5 chloro benzophenone treated with the remaining structure as this one. It in the presence of an pyridine, it gives an intermediate of benzodiazepine, which is chlorine substituted. Finally, simply undergoes an methylation on this nitrogen atom, it gives a diazepam. This is the synthetic steps which are involved in the synthesis of diazepam. Thank you everyone.